Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of my Subnautica walkthrough. And in this episode, we'll be doing initial startup, what do you need to build, and how are you going to start off on this planet. So I just kind of took out the fire, have my fire extinguisher here, and you will notice everything is basically destroyed. You do have a medkit fabricator, but your radio and your secondary systems are broken. So you're going to start off by just going in. And here you are.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. Zero human life signs detected.
Alright, so first it kind of helps to know where on the area you might be, so maybe what biomes are around you. We have a kelp forest, apparently, right here, so just kind of get your surroundings, what's near you, and stuff like that. So first we're going to start also by just figuring out what we should build. You have very limited oxygen when you start out, and you need to get a better oxygen tank. You swim very slowly at first, you have no flippers, and a lot of this is easy materials to build. These are just the basic recipes you are given. So I would suggest starting with a pair of flippers and an oxygen tank. So to build that, you need some silicone rubber, quite easy to get, and the oxygen tank just requires some titanium. So let's get started. Down here you're going to notice these metal salvages, even if there's not one directly near you. Anywhere around this safe shallows biome, there are a ton of them. And you can do is you can use them and they turn into titanium. Each piece will give you about 4. And this is very usable metal. It's very needed throughout the process of the game. So just knowing how to get that is very important. Start with your oxygen tank.
New blueprint acquired.
And you can actually create a high capacity one, which is some glass, titanium, and silver. But we won't craft that yet. We're gonna start flippers next, which you're gonna be able to find in the kelp forest. And you're gonna look for any kelp forest will do, and then you're gonna see these big leaves, and right there are these yellow seed clusters. You're gonna grab those and head right on back. And you can use this to craft your silicone rubber. As you can see, you swim very slowly. And there you go. And you can now use these in equipment and make fins. In the future, you can upgrade them using Markation Station.
Available data to provide environment-appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
So now, as you can see on our person, we have standard oxygen tank and fins. So now, I think our next priority would be to fix our radio and secondary systems using a repair tool. Repair tools just require some silicone rubber, titanium, and cave sulfur. Now, cave sulfur, it's not that difficult to find. You just need to find a cave. This does involve finding and possibly fighting a crash fish, but that's not a big deal. If you want, you can craft a knife and use it to hit the crash fish, but It's up to you. So when you're looking for a crash fish, you're going to want to swim around in caves, anything, and you're going to hear like a rock kind of rustle. I will show you when we get to...
If you don't stray too far or anything. These guys harmless. Just don't stay behind them because they shoot gas. So explore some caves and look for some type of little fish called a crash fish. I'll speed this up and show you how to get there.
So I just wanted to show you, we're here in this cave and there are two. I can take a hit just to show you. So they just kind of blow up. They do deal quite a bit of damage, so...
Detecting sulfur deposits in the local cave systems. Sulfur is an essential component of the repair tool.
So once you get hit, you'll see inside their little nests are some pieces of cave sulfur. You can just go on ahead and grab those. It's quite annoying that they damage you like that, but it's alright. You can easily outrun them too, they're not that deadly. So once you have your cave sulfur, I'm just gonna grab a med kit, first aid kit, because they did blow me up pretty good. Then you also need some other materials like titanium and some silicone rubber. So I showed you how to get those previously. So once you grab those things, you can start repairing your thing. So I'm just crafting my silicone rubber. And now, that extra titanium I had before, I can craft a repair tool. Now that we have this repair tool, we can use it to repair our secondary systems.
Lifepod secondary systems online. Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to databank.
And also, more importantly, I think, your radio. This is going to give you locations, different life pods you can explore, and also important information.
This is a rare distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
So yeah, basically, help is not coming for a very long time. It's nighttime. Just jump off. So yeah, your life pod is back online. But now, there are some things you need to make as well, like a flashlight, a knife, and these things can come after, but definitely a scanner if you want to get more recipes. So, we're going to start with the flashlight, which requires a battery. Batteries are very easy to make, you just need copper. Now, the further you progress into the game, it gets a little more trickier to find, but since you're starting out, there should be plenty. And basically, you're just going to look for these little deposits.
Local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall. Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
Okay. So once you have copper from breaking little limestone, you'll see it when you're playing. It says break limestone, and you're gonna want to look for those little rocks. It's probably easier during the daytime because at night it can be a little difficult to spot. But once you do that, you're going to look for these little purpley mushrooms and just pick up 2. You can use that for battery. And you're also going to need some titanium, which, like we discussed earlier, is easily found
Oxygen.
in metal deposits, or you can just find them in limestone. So if you see another metal salvage there. And you can just use that to get your titanium. So now that you have titanium and a battery, or the makings for one, you can make your flashlight, which is very important to make. Although there is one more thing we need to make it.
New blueprint acquired.
And that is glass. The extra titanium can be used for a scanner, something else. But for the flashlight, which I think would be helpful out here at night, you're going to need quartz. So those can be found in the caves, like Crashfish Caves, like we just went into earlier. But they're basically these light blue crystals. Can't miss them. Pretty obvious. Even glow in the dark, like you saw there. So you can just grab those 2 pieces of quartz and craft glass. Now in your tools, you are able to craft a flashlight. This tool is pretty good to use. You can use it for searching for things in the dark.
Calorie intake recommended.
Using it is it sucks the battery very quickly, so make sure you turn it off when you're not using it, and only use it when you have to. So now that we have our flashlight, we can start crafting other things that require searching for outcrops, like sandstone outcrops that are quite easily found throughout the cave system. But as you can see, the message we got says we need food. So to do that, you just need to grab any nearby fish. So this boomerang fish will be perfect. Probably gonna need more than one, they really don't do that much. And until we explore the Aurora, we will not have any other source of food. We won't have any nutri bars or anything. So there are a couple of different types of fish. And if you're looking for water specifically, go for bladderfish. Now that you have enough fish to fill a small pond, you can throw them into the sustenance category of your fabricator. Craft water and food.
Millennia. You can too. Vital signs stabilizing.
Once you have some food, drink some water, save a little for later. Ready to continue exploring for other minerals you may need. So, next on the list for crafting, it's probably a scanner, maybe not a habitat builder yet, and a knife, maybe a bladder. So these are all easily sourced materials that you can make by yourself, so I'm going to speed up the process of gathering them, but they are all materials that I've shown you how to make. I am going to tell you guys that if you are going to explore the kelp forest, there are some dinosaur-looking things that may try to eat. They're just pretty passive, like they won't really do anything, but I don't really see them around, but they do potentially may bite you, but usually they don't. And you also may stumble across these things called sandstone outcrops. They're very important, and I
Life
mean
on
very
this planet
important.
grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
So yeah, those sandstone very important to the very, very end of the game. So anything you've seen in sandstone, might as well just grab it now because they can be very hard to find later on.
Oxygen.
Once you've crafted a flashlight, air bladder, scanner, and a repair tool, you might have, during your gameplay, have noticed that you have a little blue icon signaling for radio, and when you go inside your life pod, you will notice it blinking red. You're going to want to click on it.
This is Lifepod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
So that is the first life pod you're going to get, Life Pod 3, on your beacon manager. And if you look out, you will see the beacon for Life Pod 3 showing up over there. It is in a safe shallows biome, so it's relatively safe if you wanted to go visit it. And it does have recipes for a sea glide. So what you're going to do is when you're ready to go, grab your knife and make sure you have a scanner by this point. And you're going to want to swim over to where the beacon is. If you're having trouble finding it, make sure you have it on visible and maybe change the color to a brighter, more visible color. And just swim towards that direction. We've made it to Life Pod 3, and unfortunately, doesn't look too good. Got a hole blown through it on the side, but if you look around, there are these little fragments called sea glide fragments, and you take your scanner and make sure you scan them. It just needs one more fragment, and you unlock the blueprint for building your own sea glider, which I'm sure you could probably find around the area.
Integrating new PDA data.
And you're actually able to get the blueprint for...
Caution. Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may result in a quantum detonation. Continuing to monitor.
So you also get the recipe for a compass, which we will build, and also a crew log, which can tell you probably what actually happened. So in this area, if you are not able to get more fragments, there is another location which I will show you. Basically, I'm gonna head back to my drop pod, but before I do, I'm gonna show you where this other location is. So you're gonna want to start by just kind of looking for a big safe shallows area. So this is safe shallows, and even if you think this wasn't really helpful the first time I played this, but if you want to look up, you should see some coral tubes sticking out of the water. And those coral tubes, they're going to give you the center point of the map. Just gonna kind of look.
Explore the different safe shallows areas.
Once you see a lot of arches as well in your safe shallows area, you know you're kind of close. So in this direction, you're going to see these coral tubes arched. You're now going to want to go further down, look for the arch, and right here by the grasslands is the 0 point. Now the island basically means the center of the island. This is very helpful from when you're starting off and need to know where to go to look for fragments. And you're also going to want to know how far it is from your life pod. So right now it is 280 meters from the life pod, and that's important information you can note. And you can also figure out when you have a compass what direction it is from, and it's easier to find when you are going to start and looking for the different locations for progressing in the game. So to find the sea glide fragment from here, you're going to want to go in this direction, past these landmarks. Once you get through this kelp forest, you're going to see a wreck. Oxygen.
Oxygen.
And once you pass through this kelp forest here, you're going to be kind of heading in more of a southern direction. Not that you have a compass, but in general, southern direction is where you're going to be going. And you're going to want to look around, because around here is a wreck, I believe. If not, it may be on the opposite side of this part of Safe Shallows. But you definitely want to go more into the Safe Shallows area. And when you look around, there should be a wreck. Let me try this connection. Yep, here it is. So it's on the edges between the Safe Shallows biome and the grassy plateaus, which is down there. But this wreck, it's on the edge, and I think I believe if you look around, it's a crashfish. It's a crashfish down here. You'll see different fragments, especially for beacons, but specifically for a sea glider, even if you look in the containers, like that one. Anyway, whoosh. Sorry about that. Sand shark. Not really. Don't really do that much damage, but quite annoying. In the different containers, and especially around the wreck,
Acquired.
you will see the sea glide fragments. You're gonna want to scan those, especially also if you're around and you see those beacon fragments. You're gonna want to scan those too. I did not. I made the mistake of not scanning them when I first saw them, and when you have them, they're quite a lot easier to use. Oh, my oxygen. Whew. That almost didn't work. So yeah, when you see beacon fragments, make sure you scan them. You just need 2 fragments, and they can also usually be found in this wreck. It's a grab trap fragment. I don't really use it. I didn't really use it. But you can scan it if you like. Good for catching fish, I assume, because it drags closer.
Short-range scans suggest this biome supports extensive biodiversity and connects to a number of small cave networks.
Yep.
30 seconds.
I think that's all the fragments we're gonna get. But we do now have sea glide fragments, so we can craft the sea glide. Pretty easy to make. Get the fragments, a lot easier, I believe, than the Below Zero game, but if you want to look at the recipe, it is going to be in machines. Just need a battery, lubricant, copper wire, and titanium. Lubricant is made the same as silicone. Same, just grapevine cluster. And let me find. And then copper wire is just 2 pieces of copper ore. I'll meet you back when I have those resources, and we can craft our sea glide. Okay, so now that you have gathered your copper wire, lubricant, battery, and titanium, you can head over to the playable section and craft your sea glide.
The Sea Glide will increase your effective exploration range. For your safety, please pack supplies for long journeys and stay within 5 kilometers of the nearest Lifepod or habitat.
So now that you have your sea glide, exploring caves, and even if you don't have a flashlight underwater, this comes with a built-in flashlight, as well as a map, a topographical map, which will show you inside cave systems, where caves are, and a topography of the land, basically. It's very cool.
Vital signs stabilizing.
So now I think the last thing we should start off by building is a compass. Quite easy to make. You just need a wiring kit, copper, wire. So the wiring kit, you're going to use some silver. Those can be found in those sandstone I was talking about, and basically the silver is one of the most used resources down here. And it can be only found in ore deposits or the sandstone. Or barnacles.
Be advised, a common complication for cave divers is loss of orientation, followed by eventual asphyxiation.
So
Silver-based wiring kits are an essential component of many habitat modules.
So basically anywhere in these cave systems or Arctic kelp forests, you'll find the outcrops and you can get silver.
30 seconds.
It can be a little bit difficult to find, especially because there are 3 other things you can get in an outcrop, which are gold and lead. So you really only have a 30% chance of getting silver when you look for the outcrops. But once you have your 2 pieces of silver, if not more, you can head back to your Lifepod, and you also may receive another radio call, which we'll answer in a minute. Then in your electronics section, use your wiring kit, and copper wire.
Warning. Local radiation readings suggest the Aurora's drive core has reached critical state. Quantum detonation will occur within 2 hours.
So you are now able to craft a compass. So the reason why the compass is so important.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by this Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to eat through the hull. Come get us already.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
So if you take a look, you have now gotten the signal for Lifepod 17. That's also an important part we use on exploring. And like I was saying before, the compass is super important because we don't all start at the same location, as you probably noticed trying to play this. We do not all start at the same spawn location, which I think a lot of people don't realize until they are watching videos like this, is because, and we all have different resources. So when we're trying to get to that 0 location, once you're at the 0 location, you have to use the compass to figure out where you are. So we will be using this a lot, and it's decently easy to get. You just need to use the resources in your area, and there is a kelp forest basically in all safe shallows areas surrounding it, maybe a little bit of distance from it, but you shouldn't be near a kelp forest of some sort. And you'll notice there are multiple biomes that you can easily explore with the compass. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching this episode of Subnautica walkthrough, and I will see you in the next episode.